Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today I'd like to go over some of the travel tips that I've learned over the few years of carrying cameras and traveling, and what I kind of found that works best for me, and hopefully this will help you in your future travels. Number one is to pack heavy and carry light. So when I go traveling, usually we're in a vehicle, and what I like to do and what's worked out really good for me is to have a fairly decent sized backpack, usually between 18 and 32 liters, somewhere in that range. And I'll pack that sucker completely full of stuff. That way I'll be prepared for any kind of situation that comes up. And also I won't feel like I'm leaving anything behind. But when I'm, going, and when I travel, I'll take that with me, and I also take a smaller sling bag. And in that sling bag, I'll always pack what I think I'll need for the actual day. And I try to keep that as light as possible, whatever I have in the sling bag. But what I put in there, I always try to err on the side of being lighter than I actually need. Like for instance, the last time we went on vacation, we went to an amusement park. And, that's going to be a long day of walking around, hiking up and down hills, and, just the amusement park things. And I had the XS10 with me, which is by all accounts a really small and a really lightweight camera. But by the end of the day, I really, really wish I would have just brought the ZV-1 with me instead, because it's just so much lighter, and I would just hate having the XS10 by the end of the day. So always err on the side of lightness when you're packing up for the day. Number two is don't blow it. Now I know everybody has their favorite lens that they have, really nice 1.8 or 1.4 aperture, and you can get that really dreamy background, blow out the background, not even tell what's back there. But I want to tell you that when you're out traveling, taking pictures of your family and your kids and stuff, you don't want to be living in that 1.8, 1.4 world, because you want to see, what is going on behind you. You want to see the background. You want to see where you are. And you want to be able to relive all those memories when you go back and review the pictures. So in my experiences, you want to live at F4, F5.6, F8, all those are great. On occasions, you might go down to 2.8. On rare occasions, go down 1.8, 1.4. But for the most part, you want to live in those little bit higher f-stops. That way you make sure you get everything in focus, and you're able to see the background much better that way. So don't blow it. Number three is don't miss the actions. Action cameras come so far of the past few years. It's really just a shame if you don't have one in your camera bag. Now, I know filming everything in like a full frame camera, an APS-C camera, you get better quality. You really just can't be an action camera if you're going out and you're giving it plenty of light. For instance, this trip we took at the top of the rock, and I just had my daughter filming with the GoPro. And all that footage just came out great. It looked perfect to me. And most importantly, it's just so smooth. The footage is so smooth. You don't have to have a gimbal or anything extra. It's kind of crazy to me that, like, I started off with the GoPro Hero 5 Black, and when I bought that, I bought a action camera gimbal, which is, you don't hear about those anymore because the stabilization of the cameras have become so good. And even the picture quality, the GoPro Hero 10, you get 5K. I think it looks great. You can get a 360 camera. It'll catch everything. Although I don't think the image quality is nearly as good as the GoPro Hero 10. Man, you can just get everything, and that's a really cool way to shoot. So if you're going to be shooting, you're going outside, don't be afraid to use an action camera. I just have a little clip that goes right on top of my camera. And that's what I use when I'm out filming, outside when I'm on vacation, and they just work out really good. Another one that you should think about when you're out on vacation is always try something new. Like, I am a terrible street photographer. Like, I just something that's just not in my comfort zone. I just think that's a big city thing. Like, I don't think people mind taking pictures of strangers, and I don't think strangers should get in mind, getting their picture taken of. But when you live like in Oklahoma, more the Midwest, it becomes a kind of a weird thing, like I found that, you know, like people, strangers, they don't want to be in your pictures, and they would go out of their complete way to get out of your pictures. And it's kind of uncomfortable for me to be taking pictures of complete strangers, and it just creates a kind of a weird dynamic. So, but it's always something I've been interested in. So when I went on vacation the last time, I did try to take some street photography, and basically I was just doing it, you know, stealth mode as stealthy as I possibly could. And I also try to do some landscape photography, and I'm not very good at that at all. Like I just see, to me, a tree is a tree, and all these trees and these mountains, they just look like trees and mountains. I just can't conceptualize in my mind what would make a good photo. So when you're out and about, you should always push yourself to do something that you're not normally comfortable with. And also, the last thing on my list is, hey, you do you, you know, like I'm a primarily zoom shooter. That's what I like to shoot with. A lot of people like to go primes, but I find that if you try to make yourself into a prime shooter or make yourself into a zoom shooter, you'll just get really pretty frustrated and you won't take nearly as many pictures. So always make sure, even if you're trying something new, that you're staying relatively true to what you are as a shooter. And for me, that's zooms. I like to zoom. Hey, that's all right. You know, people think I'm crazy and they like to do primes. Like they'll carry all these prime lenses in their bag, and I'm good with a 28 to 200. So you do you, and everything else will be fine. I hope you've enjoyed these few travel tips that I have to share with you. Hopefully they'll help you on your travels going forward. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.